So, guys, what you're looking at here, the fire has spread. So we're seeing new fires coming out. This is breaking news. This is the Hollywood Hills, and this brush fire, or what was believed to just be a fire that was caused by Mother Nature. It is spreading in multiple parts of California here. We can see that this is a brush fire that is taking place in the Hollywood Hills, and it's raging. And at this point, there's a lot of serious questions that are coming out, like who or what is starting all these fires? Like all of a sudden, it's not like it's a cascade of fires and it just continues to spread. We're seeing fires that are taking place in different parts. So it's not like, one fire started here and then it grew and grew and grew and became bigger. We're seeing these fires that are, these are anything but normal fires, is what I'm saying here. Ladies and gentlemen, the wildfires in California are raging, and we have brand new fires starting, and they're overtaking Hollywood as well as other parts of California beyond the Palisades. I'm going to be sharing with you guys the latest on this. This is breaking news, guys. In fact, we've got breaking news responses coming from the local officials. The Los Angeles mayor is under fire right now after firefighters have completely run out of water to be able to put the fires out. A lot of people are saying that, hey, this is California. Why aren't they just using the water that's in the Pacific Ocean? Others are saying that, this looks suspicious. Why is this happening? Insurance companies have canceled policies on homeowners, and all of a sudden these wildfires are taking place. What's really going on here, right? I mean, let me know down below, guys. Thank you for joining me on this live, by the way. Thanks for hitting the like button. Let me know down below in the comments, guys, where you're watching from, and if you think that maybe there's some suspicious activity taking place that's causing these wildfires. Because if you look at the timeline here, I mean, it's January. It is the first of the year. I mean, we're only 9 days into 2025, and it's wintertime. This is very peculiar. It's a very peculiar time of year, very unusual to have wildfires spreading right now.
We're at 302 Pico, and people are lighting fires now. You can see they lit a fire. These guys, not all the people there, but some of those guys lit that fire, and they're actually, the trees caught fire, and then the palms are catching fire. So civilians are now lighting fires.
Oh my God. So now I'm wondering, okay, what about these other fires? What about the widespread fires in LA, Hollywood, the Palisades? Were these really wildfires that started naturally, or were there malicious people starting these fires? I'll just put it to you. I'll just ask you that question. Was this natural? If you think that these were naturally, caused by Mother Nature, put a 1 in the comments. If you think that there's some suspicious, malicious activity, nefarious characters starting these fires, please put a 2 in the comments, guys. California is no stranger to wildfires, but for California to be experiencing these wildfires right now, it's really, really, it's a very unusual time of the year for this to happen. And on top of that, the rate at which they're spreading and how it's spreading, it's very, let's just say it's very mysterious. Okay. So there's a lot that I want to share with you guys today. In fact, let's quickly jump into this one here, because what we're also seeing is not only are we seeing the wildfires, but if you look at this patch here, I want you guys to look at the patch down here. It's all black. And the reason why this is black is because these wildfires are actually causing a power outage, a blackout across the state of California in certain parts. They're burning down the power lines. Homes are being engulfed. And it's just pure chaos and madness. For those of you guys just joining in the live, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for hitting the like button and subscribing. You guys are amazing.
Structure fires, but then you see all these blackouts here. These are power outages, and I know we've heard from so many of you saying, I don't have power, whether you are in the valley, whether you are in the Hollywood Hills. So widespread outages tonight across the Southland.
And as we were watching that Studio City firefight,
Wow. Widespread power outages are now taking place. This fire is so out of control. It is scary. And we're going to hear from multiple figures later on. We're going to see live footage. This is Los Angeles, guys, being destroyed. Some people are saying that, this is Mother Nature's way of cleansing the state of California for all the wokeness that has taken place. I'm not here to judge, but these are the things that I'm seeing in the comments here, guys. The fire is in my pants. What? Someone says, where's the fire? Well, where's the fire? The reason you don't see anything here is because there's the power infrastructure grid. The grid is down. And that's why you don't see any lights in certain areas. But yeah, Los Angeles fire in California, Palisades, the Hearst fire, Woodley fire. This thing is it's crazy, out of control.
We saw power poles sparking, which I suggested at the time might meant that we would see blackouts in the area. So because I got to assume because of this firefight, we see some of these power outages. So although they're able to knock this fire down, although they were able to contain the damage to that street, the after effect of it also is some of these power outages in the area. And you look at this area.
Wow. And the power outages are massive, guys. Absolutely massive.
Her home in the Pacific Palisades after the and Rachel Darvish, who evacuated from her home in the Pacific Palisades after the fire spread to her backyard. And Rachel, thank you so much for joining us in what I imagine to be a truly traumatizing situation. Thankfully, you are safe in a hotel now, but tell us what happened and what you saw that led you to evacuate.
Understatement. What I saw was something that I don't think anyone ever dreams of seeing, even in their dreams, I think. It was just literally a perfect day in Pacific Palisades. We live in a dream community, which unfortunately doesn't exist, I think, anymore. My daughter went to her first day of preschool. After the break, everyone was excited. I came home, put on classical music, typical, I think, of Titanic. I put on classical music, tried to start working, and as soon as I started working, the notification came in saying there was a fire. And I can't even tell you how quickly I walked to the front of the house and saw that the fire had come to our gate. We live in a gated community there in the Palisades. And that was the moment I realized, surreal, it's real. And after being born and raised in the Palisades, having seen numerous evacuations, having been through earthquakes, fires, whatever you can say, we've been through it all. This was something I was never expecting. And I'm very happy to say I'm okay. But after what we've been through, I don't know why. I don't know why I have to be in a hotel room. I don't know why this had to happen to this extent, but we'll get to that at some point, I think.
Let's hear from Donald Trump on this one.
We go live to Capitol Hill.
In other words, we gave it to him
where
for
President
nothing.
Trump's
The most
speaking.
expensive structure ever built in the history of our country, relatively speaking. The most expensive, by far. We lost 38,000 people. They gave it to him for $1, and then they charge more for our ships. It's not going to happen. And China's running the Panama Canal. That's not going to happen either.
Mr. President, on California, Mr. President, during the pandemic, you often said that you didn't believe that you should bail out blue states that you believe were being mismanaged. Given your criticism of Governor Gavin Newsom, are you willing to work with him, and do you believe that federal aid should be provided to California for as long as it takes?
Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific.
Why is he sending the water to the Pacific? Does that make any sense? I mean, they have annual wildfires and they're wasting water, sending it to the ocean that already has plenty of water. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Does it make any sense to you guys?
Because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called a smelt. And for the sake of a smelt, they have no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles. It was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side, and he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy. So,
Well, at least President-elect Trump, don't want to get anybody in a tizzy here. At least President Trump hasn't turned his back on California, in spite of the fact that Governor Gavin Newsom has ignored Trump's suggestions and warnings in the past.
What's happening in California is a true tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends living in those houses. That is a true tragedy. Nobody ever thought. I mean, virtually Beverly Hills and areas around Beverly Hills are being decimated. The biggest homes, some of the most valuable homes in the world are just destroyed. I don't even know. You talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose half your tax base of California.
Think about that for a second. What Donald Trump just said about some of the largest, most beautiful, most valuable homes being destroyed. Never mind the fact that, okay, maybe there's some evil people in there that just so happen to be, wealthy, have billions of dollars. Never mind all that for a second, okay? What I'm saying is there are people fleeing the state of California. I don't want to minimize this. There are thousands of people fleeing the state. They're evacuating the state of California, okay? And it's not just they're evacuating the Hollywood Hills, California area or the Palisades because of the fires. California has had a net negative population for the last several years. And these fires are burning down some of the most expensive homes here in the state of California. Some of the most expensive. Now, I'm not talking about the Kim Kardashians. Well, actually, yes, I am actually talking about the Kim Kardashians of the world, even though Kim Kardashian happens to live in, I think, Calabasas or something like that, which is, I think, further north, if I'm not mistaken. But Kim's home is okay. But what I'm saying is these are some of the largest, most valuable homes in the state of California, bringing in a tremendous amount of tax revenue from property taxes for the state of California. And Lord knows California needs it the way that, the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, is spending the money. I mean, $2 billion blown for homeless relief. And yet there's all sorts of homeless people still in the streets, in the beaches, in the parks. And they don't even know how much the $2 billion helped. Like, they didn't even track the spend. So you're burning down the homes that are being burned down are some of the most valuable homes. So that's tax revenue that's not coming in from property taxes. Some of these homes, they'll have $50,000, $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 annual property tax bills. Just let that sink in for a second, right? And so if these homes are gone, if those people move out of the state of California, this is tax revenue that's never coming back, okay? Let's not talk about the income tax that the state bills everyone who generates income in the state of California. So if these very wealthy people stop paying, California could be bankrupt before you know it.
This is a true tragedy, and it's a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration. They don't have any water. They didn't have water in the fire hydrants. They don't have water. And yet they have, the water comes from, you know where? Up north. And it comes down at levels, they give millions and millions of barrels of gallons of water that they have, and they send it out into the Pacific. For the Pacific, it's like a drop, it's nothing. But for California, it would take care of the whole state. So what's happened is a tragedy, and the governor has not done a good job. With that being said, I got along well with him when he was governor. We worked together very well, and we would work together. I guess it looks like we're going to be the one having to rebuild it.
Now, some people are going to call this out and say, hey, look at Trump playing politics. In the middle of a tragedy, in the middle of a crisis, the fires are burning, they're ablaze, and Trump's over here playing the political game, highlighting Gavin Newsom's shortcomings and what he should have done. I mean, is it wrong to identify a problem? Or should the problem be ignored? We just try to address it and not even talk about it. I mean, I don't know. You guys let me know. But it does sound like Trump is willing to do whatever it takes to get California back on his feet, provide whatever support is required. Let me know, guys.
But what happened there, I don't think there's anything that I've ever seen quite like it. And the insurance companies are going to have a big problem because you're talking about.
Didn't State Farm or Allstate or one of these big companies pull out of California, cancel a whole bunch of insurance policies? Let me know which one it was, because I don't really remember off the top of my head.
Big dollars.
Biden pardon was changed. What's your message for President Biden? He said he.
Oh, I thought it was ridiculous that he did that, but we have more important things to talk about. Liz Cheney was, she lost in the Republican Party, as you know, in her state, by the biggest margin in the history of a politician running for Congress. She lost by like 42 points. Nobody's ever lost like that. So I don't care about Liz Cheney. I care about these people.
President Trump, deportations. What does day one going to look like for the Trump administration?
Number one, we're closing the border. It's going to be closed very strongly, and it's going to be closed. And we're going to have to take people out that are criminals. We have people from jails from all over the world and from mental institutions. And as you know, they're going to have to be removed. And it's one of the reasons I won the election in a landslide. The people of this country don't want murderers walking down their farms or their streets or their cities. As you know, we had thousands of people that murdered other people that were in jail that were released into our country. Many of those people murdered more than one person, many of them, about 42% supposedly. We want them out of our country, and we're going to get a country back again, and we're going to be really governed by common sense. These are the principles of common sense. We're not going to be governed by stupid people. We're going to common sense.
Wow, guys. Wow. So there you have it. Donald Trump is definitely on board with doing whatever it takes to get our borders closed, to get these horrible criminals out of the country who are here illegally. So that is definitely a plus. But in the meantime, we did hear from Governor Gavin Newsom, who wasn't happy about Trump's response, calling him out regarding his response to the wildfires. And basically, let me just let you hear from Gavin Newsom, because he wasn't happy about it.
No one here is playing politics. We have an American president and Joe Biden that recognizes his responsibility in times of emergency. When Americans are in need, he steps up, he steps in, not qualified by a particular request or an expectation. My message to the incoming administration, and I'm not here to play any politics, is please don't play any politics. There's a time and place for that.
Wow. So you got pretty boy Gavin Newsom, Nancy Pelosi's nephew, basically taking jabs at, it seems like he's taking jabs at Trump here. He didn't say Trump's name, but it certainly fits the bill. If you guys think Gavin Newsom's talking about somebody else, let me know. If you think that Gavin Newsom is talking about Trump, let me know in the comments. If you think it's Trump, put a 1. If you think it's someone else, put a 2. But I think it's interesting how instead of talking about the problem, instead of working on the problem, instead of explaining, what are they going to do immediately and what are they going to do in the long term to prevent this from happening, you got pretty boy Governor Gavin Newsom taking jabs at someone. And I think that this just stands to prove how misaligned his objectives are with regard to the state of California. People don't want to hear about that. They want to hear about, how are you going to fix this problem? Are you going to fly? Are you going to get like helicopters and airplanes flying water in? What's up with all the water that's in these pools of these mega mansions and properties all around this fire that's taking place? Some of these pools are like 50, 100,000 gallon pools in people's backyards. Use that water to put the fire out, right? Let me know if I'm making sense, guys. I don't understand what some of these people are thinking. So here we got President Trump pin the blame for this apocalyptic wildfire tearing through Los Angeles County on California Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom. And I mean, it's hard not to blame him. It really is hard not to blame him. But what's also interesting is it's not just Governor Gavin Newsom's fault. No, actually, Governor Gavin Newsom was accompanied by the mayor of Los Angeles, who also dropped the ball. In fact, the mayor had actually gotten caught kind of like midway on the airplane coming back from, I think she was in Ghana. And it was really probably one of the worst times you could actually take a trip while your city's burning down, literally, not figuratively. Your city is burning down while you're on some vacation trip or whatever in some other country. But I want you guys to peep her reaction to the folks that are asking her all about this whole tragedy that's taking place. And I mean, think about the homes and the businesses that are being engulfed in this completely out of control, raging wildfire.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today?
Is she just going to stand there and look like she don't even hear anybody, see no evil, hear no evil? I mean, like, and it looks like she's standing right at the connector between like the gate of the airplane and that little connecting hallway that gets you to the airplane. Like, she's just stuck right there. It's kind of like the part where sometimes they ask you to check your bags or check your carry-on bag, like right here. She's like hovering over the tarmac, and she's ignoring these reporters.
Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens?
Guys, this is the mayor of Los Angeles. This is the LA mayor, Karen Bass. Isn't it odd that her name is Karen? I know. So anyway, LA mayor, Karen Bass, clearly not willing to answer any questions and pretty much just, pulls a Mitch McConnell freeze moment when these reporters are asking her if she, has any kind of, second thoughts on cutting the fire department's budget by like $20 million. And of course, her timely trip to Africa during this devastating wildfire was just like the worst timing in the world.
Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster?
What is she doing?
No apology for them?
Is she trying to get out the door?
You should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home.
Yep. She's pretty short. She's like my grandmother's height.
Let me ask you just again, have you anything to say to the citizens today as you return?
No. Hold on 1 second.
That's a restricted area, woman.
Madam Mayor, just a few words for the citizens today as you return to deal with the catastrophe.
Can you take this down?
I guess it's not restricted for the mayor. She's like, I own this town.
David, as you say, she wasn't very keen to answer any of your questions there. And fire chiefs are also admitting that they just don't have enough personnel to take out the fires.
It's not even the personnel that is lacking. They have firefighters. Okay, now clearly, more firefighters would be better, but they don't have any water. They're freaking out of water, guys. How do you run out of freaking water? You got farmers who need water. They're out of water. I mean, so this is such a cascade of events that's just horrible, guys. running out of water. I mean, so that means that, does that mean that, you can't flush your toilets? That means people can't take showers, people can't cook. I mean, most cooks are going to need some water to cook, right? Think about all the businesses that are going to fail to be able to serve their customers, restaurants. There's going to be a lot of people who may not be able to go to work because if a restaurant doesn't have any water, then good luck being able to fulfill client or customer requests. Good luck cooking without water. Good luck washing dishes. I mean, water is such a critical resource. This is a major problem. This is a catastrophic F up. And all Gavin Newsom can say is that, we shouldn't be playing politics. I mean, look at this. Look at this, guys. You got patients being evacuated from hospitals. Just complete failure. Complete failure, guys. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't make this stuff up. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, guys. By the way, I'm working on growing our X community. So join me over in our Twitter community, our X community. I'll leave a link for you guys in the description down below. I'd love to have you guys over there. Let me know what you guys think. There is absolutely more of this story to come. I will continue to bring you guys breaking news and the clips that you want to see and everything that is going on, detail by detail. And I guarantee some heads are going to roll. Let me know whose head you think needs to roll first. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for hitting the like button. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel.